Hi folks, Tom Johnson Medlin here. Today I'm going to share a few poems from my book entitled From the Belly of the Whale, Poems of the Male Soul. The book is divided into two portions. The Poems of the Male Soul are in the forward portion of the book. In the backward portion of the book, the second half, it's entitled Yosemite at 50, the John Muir poems, which I'll share those separately. Today I've picked out four poems that I like to think are from my collection of geologic poems, poems that speak to the landscape and geology of our own lives, and how it is replicated and how synchronized in the landscape all around us. There's that connection that goes back and forth between us when we see things that we can identify as portions or reflections of our own selves. So, first poem is Escarpment. Some things wear you down, a deep aging in your center, an erosion of your soul, or maybe your heart. Does not kill you, but it lays you bare, open, exposed. This wearing down becomes clear in the middle of life. One thing comes along, a death, an accident, a final straw that lights the mind's sky, and all at once you see what has been there all along. That which has undone you, that which has worn you away. There it is, and don't be shy. It goes against your earliest hopes, your youthful ideals, and your grandest theories. There it is, a piece of you, one that is left exposed as if it were something new, like the rock held deep in the earth's erosion, time. Alterations pull the dirt from all around the stone. They pull the dirt from this piece of you. They move the tiny pebbles from your side. They move the sand from behind you, and you are revealed by the violence of change. This need not be horrid violence, the great unleashing slide of a glacier as it tears away from its century nest, pushing with a crashing speed. A simple negotiated shift is enough, a slow movement back and forth, to and fro, earth and weather drifting and decaying and just simply washing away. Some things wear you down, a deep aging in your center, an erosion of your soul, or maybe your heart. This next poem is entitled Strata. Our days are made of varied ages and altering compositions, layers of change throughout time and space. To feel the changes that have been made does not require the mind's knowing alone of where one thing ends and another begins, nor is the heart's feeling enough. We need a gut that senses change, an intuition that senses the shifting plates and layers of life. We need a heart and a mind that will trust this gut. In us, down deep and beneath, are movements we cannot see, upheavals we will never see, shifts we cannot and will not know or come about. We can sense them, we can lean forward at the first stirrings, bend into them and suppose or hunch. It is the gut that notices this larger terrain, this immense sliding. It is the gut that feels its way through the changing landscape. The eye may not see, the mind, it may not know, the heart may not feel, but the gut senses. The gut holds on to shudders and rumbles. The gut explores valleys and hills, the faults and the plates of our topology of our lives. The gut knows nothing of fur and feathers, of brocade and silk. It holds no hope in the fine and the soft, amid the smooth and the refined. The heart and the mind, they lull themselves to sleep in the finery, casting their eyes on the silt and lace of low-grade terrain, feeling for a faint interior pulse that they cannot know. Our days shift and move without regard for the mind's vigilant hope for reason and the heart's need for rhythm and rhyme. Things move about without warning. I cannot hope to see the plate raised up above the others, or that one dropped down below. The gut knows this disturbance. Turbulence is its language, and it knows it well. My gut feels them. A jarring drop or jolting rise is measured for sure in the gut, the heart, The heart reaches out and feels through the layers of space and time for the shifting and the rolling forces we no longer see. The sorrow and the joy that arrives from change, ushered in on the current of the hummingbird's wing at noonday. Layers of life we cannot see. We are piles of layers within the twist of time and the stretch of space, the spray of the wave and the stir of air. We hold on amid our lack of ingenuity. We dream on despite our innocence of any true power, sensing only the dark. We feel the layers of our piled past. We hope against hell that our heart and our mind have listened well and found what is true, what is sure, and what the gut has to offer. This next poem's Alluvial Fans. Fans spread out at the base of the hills, the base of our days, escarping debris deposited over time. The force always down, hauls all sorts of silt from the face of the highlands to the foot of the lowlands. Down, always down falls all that has died, all that has decayed and lost its grip. It falls and is washed away. Are the things we love really lost, or are they moved down, always down, away to the pit of our own erosion? Those pieces that have washed away our youth, our trust, our freedom to be naive, are they gone or simply out of sight, reaching out from the basin of our days? The nutrients and minerals from the mountain seed the basin in a downward rush, and the mountains and the hills are laid low. A time-cast collaboration of the prophets and erosion, everything leveled. Fingers of the mountain stretch out, hoping to pull her along the earth, to widen her presence along the surface. We grow like this. All that runs off of us produces chains and foothills. Our life touches another by the buildup of silt and alluvial wear. It moves away from our core. Then, lifetimes later, the foothills of our days spawn foothills and are themselves carried away. All things become one as the work of time spreads out the mountains, bringing them all to the ground, to the earth from which they came, the mountains and the hills laid low. And this last poem is River Bending. We are not here long enough to watch the river change her shape, but she does. I have felt it. We can see her swell and dry, but we do not get to see her curl and cut and grow old. She is an old thing. She goes back 1,000 years. We cannot see all the changes, but we can feel them. They are in there.